Oh my God, it works. Holy crap. I don't know what the hell's been going on, but I haven't been able to get this thing to work for like 15 minutes. Yay! Oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late. Are you there? I was really starting to worry we weren't going to get together tonight. I legit have been sitting here waiting for it to connect, and I'm like, are we not going to have our cocktail tonight? What the hell? Sorry, guys. I was not slacking off. I was here the whole time trying to make it work. Oh, I feel so much better now. I thought we were going to screw this whole thing up and we weren't going to be able to get together tonight. Welcome to a delayed edition of Cocktails in the War Room. I'm Mistress Carrie. Usually we get together every weeknight at 8:30, but I have been sitting here for like the last 15 minutes trying to get this damn thing to work. I've tried everything. I turned the phone on and off. I turned off my Bluetooth. I disconnected from the Wi-Fi. I've been sitting here like, am I doing something wrong? I know how to do this. I've been doing it every night. I'm sorry, Drea. I know. I was getting worried too. Oh, Sean says nothing scarier than a woman who's late. Listen, I'm not late. I was here. I was here early. I even had a cocktail ready. Cheers. God, it almost got royally screwed. We almost screwed up this whole pandemic. We were just going to have to pull the car over and just stop the ride because we almost screwed it up. Thank you guys for being patient and hanging out with me tonight. The first thing I want to do is I want to thank my buddy Fernandez, who him and his wife make the most amazing sangria ever. And before everything went into effect at noon today, I may or may not have had a care package dropped in the bushes, and I'm not drunk early, and I got a delivery of sangria, like homemade, delicious sangria. So, oh my God. I feel so much better. I was really starting to think I was going to have to leave you guys a video message and tell you that I was sorry we weren't going to have our cocktail tonight. Christian says, I was terrified. I thought I had to drink alone. Come on, man. I'm not leaving you behind. I'm right here. So every week, or every night, not just weeknight, every night at 8:30, we get together to decompress from the day and to talk about everything that happened today and just kind of reconnect since we're all locked in the house. The first thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, I tried so hard yesterday not to think about it that I forgot to bring it up last night. And what I was trying all day yesterday not to think about is that yesterday, March 23rd, was the actual 50th anniversary of WAAF signing on the air. And I knew that the whole day, and I kept trying to just put it out of my head, put it out of my head, put it out of my head. And then last night we were talking, and I got off on the tangent telling you the long-winded story about my phone and stuff. I totally forgot to bring it up. And so tonight, if we can start tonight's Cocktails in the War Room by cheersing the 50th anniversary of WAAF signing on 50 years ago on March 23rd, 1970. So there you go. I apologize if I get super wasted tonight because that sangria's got a kick. If he could find a way to mass produce this, he could quit his day job because it's really good. You love the skull mug? Yeah, exactly. So good. All right, so let's talk about some things that happened today. The Olympics in Tokyo 2020 got postponed. Pearl Jam has a new Pearl Jam hotline, the Gigaton hotline. The new album comes out on Friday, and they set up a phone line, the Gigaton hotline, which is 585-20-PEARL or 585-20-73275. And if you call the Gigaton hotline, you can hear the album before it comes out on Friday. And that includes the song Come Then Goes that the lyrics leaked on the internet. And that's the song that Pearl Jam wrote about Chris Cornell. And so I can't wait to get the record on Friday, but the new Pearl Jam comes out. And speaking of new music, although it's not new, it's old. The guys from Shinedown, when they were recording the Amaryllis record, they had a song that was called Atlas Falls, and it didn't go on the record. And so they've decided to put that song up for download, and they've also designed a t-shirt, and you can download the song and you can get the t-shirt, and all of the proceeds are going to Direct Relief, which is a charity that's helping with all of the fundraising, trying to get supplies for people that are battling the coronavirus. So you can go to Shinedown's website and all of their social media pages and get the link. But the song is called Atlas Falls, and it was from the Amaryllis recording sessions. Let's see. I've been laughing a little bit because there have been some politicians that have been talking about how invasive the coronavirus test is. I guess one of the ways that they test is they take a really long Q-tip and they stick it back in your nose, and they like get up in your sinuses. And I've seen some of like the cross sections, and like it gets pretty far in there, violating your nasal cavity. But they're describing it as intrusive and invasive. And what's funny is that you haven't heard any of the women that have been tested that way complain about it being intrusive and invasive. So until they're putting the Q-tip up your pee hole, it can't be that bad. It's your nasal passage. Like you've probably gone 2 knuckles deep on a booger in the middle of the winter while you're snowmobiling. So don't worry about the test. If you need it, go get it. They're doing it in drive-thrus and hospital parking lots. It can't be that bad. The other thing I saw this meme today that generates your quarantine nickname, and it is supposed to be how you feel right now plus the last thing that you ate. So I guess my quarantine nickname would be Buzzed Pringle, because, well, my buddy Sangria is fantastic, and my Pringle addiction is continuing. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. It's like I liked Pringles before, but now I'm full-blown addicted to them, and I can't stop eating them. So figure out what your quarantine nickname is. It's how you feel right now and whatever you ate last, and then put it in the comments so that, Bill Spencer says, I had sinus surgery. That's nothing. Trust me, when I had to get my nose fixed after the motorcycle accident in 2015, they wouldn't let me save the little plastic things, but I did take a picture of them. So when I crashed my motorcycle and broke all of this all up in here, especially right here, this was all shattered and broken in here. They did a septoplasty and a rhinoplasty. And the first time it didn't really work all that well, which is the surgery they did a couple weeks after the accident. And then I had to have another one in February of 2016. And they took these big, I've never seen anything that big go up my nose ever, these big plastic tubes, and they stuck them up there, but the end was like here. So it was probably tickling my brain, and they had fins on them like a boat propeller, and they got them up in there. And then what I didn't know was that they sutured them in place. And so as the swelling was going down, it was creating this pressure in my nasal cavity. And the whole reason that those big things were up there was to hold open the nasal cavity while all the swelling healed. And the headaches were horrific. I can't believe that people actually get nose jobs for no reason. I had to have 2 of them because I smashed my face on Route 2 in Irving on Memorial Day weekend. But I wanted to just take a set of needle nose and just pull the damn things out. But I didn't do that. And then the doctor said, it's a really good thing that you didn't, because they were sutured in there and that would have really sucked. But if you go to one of my photo albums on my Facebook page, I took a picture. I actually asked the doctor after she pulled them out of my face, if I could hold them in my hand and take a picture. And she was like, yeah, sure. And I couldn't believe how big they were. So the Q-tips can't be that bad. Although some people are commenting saying that, all right, maybe it is invasive. But then there's a lot of other people that are talking about having gauze and other stuff pulled out of their noses. And it can't be that bad. So there you go. Hold on. I'm talking about my face operation, and it makes me want to have a cocktail. Okay. Some of your quarantine nicknames: Relaxed Reese's Egg. Oh, that's a good one. Relaxed Corn Chowder. Sleepy Pork Chop. Oh, John Nelson, that's a good one. Your quarantine nickname: How You Feel, and the last thing that you ate. Keep them coming. Comment on the video, because I'm gonna really laugh later when I'm drunk on sangria. I also wanted to talk about how we're all stuck in the house. Those of us that are not important enough, I guess, to go to work. We're not essential. And so today I cleaned out my closet, and I have this big like wooden chest that I keep all of my old t-shirts in, like all my old concert shirts, because I've been collecting them since I was in high school. And so I thought it would be fun if I busted one out for you tonight. So behold the glory of my Bon Jovi t-shirt from 1989. Yeah, on the back it says, "We're back kicking ass." Got it at the Worcester Centrum. I believe Tesla opened up for him at that show, but it could have been Cinderella. I don't remember which one, but this is one of the old shirts that I dug out of my closet today after digging through all of my concert collection. So I want to know what you guys are finding, because I know you're probably cleaning out your closets too, and you're probably finding some weird shit. Maybe some old records, maybe some old ticket stubs or concert t-shirts or whatever. But if you're finding some weird old stuff, you got to make sure that you're commenting. Buzz, chicken, broccoli, and ziti, says Richard Page. That's nice. Your quarantine nickname. Keep them coming. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and this probably goes out to the single dudes that are stuck at home, or the ones that, especially if you've been out working and then you go home and you're like, damn it, now I have to cook for myself. It's one of those things that when you're in the house and you're like, okay, I have these 3 ingredients. What the hell am I going to cook? You guys are probably inventing some crazy ass recipes. And so you got to share those with us too, because these are quarantine recipes, and we should probably put a quarantine recipe book together. Because some of them are probably very strange. You're probably making really weird things with like ramen noodles. Betty wants to know what's up with my necklace. A lot of people ask me that. This is a closing pin. It's what holds your canopy in place inside your skydiving rig. So a lot of skydivers wear them, but it's called a closing pin. And anybody that's ever jumped out of a perfectly good airplane would probably recognize that. So that's what it is, to answer your question. I bring up the recipe thing because tonight I wanted to show you one of the things that I have in my war room, because I promised you every night I would show you something. I actually got this for Christmas this past year, and it is an old rusty recipe book. And the recipes that are in there are, you can see that they're color-coded. The recipes are all old Army cook recipes. And they're hilarious because, like, for example, and I don't want to mess them up here because I don't want to have to put them back in order. This is jellied fruit salad variations, and this is jellied orange salad, jellied pear salad, jellied pineapple, pear, and banana salad, and jellied strawberry salad, but it's the military way. And most of these recipes, the yield on them is like 150 people. I've only been one place where an Army cook actually cooked for us, because it doesn't happen all that often. But when I was in Afghanistan, one of the bases that I went to actually had an Army cook, as opposed to contractors that were running the chow halls and stuff. And it was the best meal I had there. For example, let me see this one. They're all color coded and organized, but this one is Swiss steak with tomato sauce, and it yields 100 portions. And it's 1 steak and 1/3 of a cup of sauce, or 7.5 ounces per each portion. And this whole recipe thing is just full of all of these crazy military recipes. I don't know how old it is. Maybe somebody could figure it out for me. It has a code down at the bottom. But I just think it's really cool. Somebody found it like at a surplus store or whatever, and they gave it to me. And I have not tried making any of these recipes yet. but if anybody, especially if you're an older veteran and you've had some of these recipes, you got to let me know. Chili Conquistador. This one yields 100 portions. It takes 4 pans, and each portion is a square that is about 8.5 ounces. And it includes beef patty mix, bulk or beef ground and thawed, onions, dry and chopped, also chili powder, pepper, red ground salt, garlic, dehydrated tomatoes, and canned and crushed tomatoes. And that's just some of it. Also, long grain rice, salt, salad oil or shortening, and water, and cornbread mix. It actually kind of sounds good right now. That would be a fantastic quarantine name if you were like Sleepy Chili Conquistador. God, that sangria is good. So anyway, I thought I would share. This is full of military recipes. I don't know. Maybe if I can't find myself another radio gig, I'll open up a restaurant someday and just make old Army recipes. How bad could it be? I also wanted to go through my bartender book and find us a cocktail for this evening. Last night I just stuck my finger in the book. Tonight I actually tried to find something that I had never heard of before. And I had never heard of a Blue Blazer before. This is 1 wine glass of Scotch whiskey, a wine glass of boiling water, a teaspoon of sugar to taste, it says, and a lemon twist to garnish. Now, the instructions, it says, warning, this cocktail requires a great degree of skill and care. Using 2 silver-plated mugs with handles, pour the scotch into one mug and the boiling water into the other. Ignite the whiskey with a match and pour the blazing ingredients back and forth between the 2 mugs several times. Aim to create a long stream of liquid fire and pour into an old-fashioned glass, add the sugar, and serve with a lemon twist. So that I thought I would share because it says it requires a great deal of skill and it includes setting stuff on fire, which is always a good idea when you're locked in the house during a quarantine. So there you go. That one's called the Blue Blazer. All right. How are you guys feeling? What's going on? What do I need to know about? Sorry I'm late, says Jamie. Don't worry, I was late too. Scared the crap out of myself because I didn't think we were going to get together. My new name is now changed to Drunken Frozen Deep Dish Pizza. Please make a note of it. That is fantastic. Can I make one of those Blue Blazers now, Brandon wants to know? No, because I've already had half a glass of my buddy Fernandez's sangria, and I'm not touching anything that is flammable. That would be really bad. Drea says, I'm totally trying this. That is way too complicated for me, says Leanne. Exactly, that's why I'm not doing it. Because I really don't want to set myself on fire on Facebook Live, because then all you assholes would make the video go viral and I would be one of those stupid people doing dumb things on the internet that I always made fun of while I was on the air. You have to make that drink live for us, says David. No, you just want me to set myself on fire and go viral. And it would be a dramatic waste of PPE for all of the healthcare providers that would need to give me skin grafts because I tried to make a Blue Blazer live on the internet and I'm not doing it. I need another sip just at the thought of it. Now I want sangria, says Renee. I'm telling you, my buddy Fernandez's sangria, it was almost like an illegal transaction. He made a batch of sangria and dumped it in the bushes. And I was like, this is like a covert operation. What's in the sangria, Eric wants to know. To be perfectly honest, I have no friggin' idea. Fernandez is one of my buddies from Afghanistan. His wife is from Italy, and the two of them came up with this recipe, and they make it. It has little bits of cut up fruit in there. I really don't know what's in it. He just told me to cut it with a little bit of seltzer, and it's probably a good thing that I cut it a little bit, but... Do it, says Rob. No, I'm not setting myself on fire just for your amusement. Convince Spaz to make it, says Sean. Now that is a good idea because he would probably do it. Spaz has actually been killing it on social media lately because he's been out there with Take Junk and he's just being Spaz. So, William is talking about my jersey. Yeah, right? It's from 1989. I saved it. It's totally badass. So I want you guys to know, because a ton of you guys have been commenting about me trying to get Mike Shue on this thing. So I called Mike Shue today. And can I just tell you how much I fucking love that guy? Seriously. And I try not to swear because I know your kids are around. But one of the worst parts about the radio station not being around anymore is that I don't get to see Mike Shue every day and don't get to work with him every day because I just love him. So I called him today because he's really good at talking me off of ledges sometimes. And then other times when you're on a ledge, the last person you want to talk to is Mike Shue. But anyway, I talked to him today and I was like, hey, you got to come on Cocktails in the War Room with me because people are asking. And obviously we're trying to social distance ourselves from each other because I don't want to make Mike sick if for some reason I got sick and he doesn't want to make me sick. So we are looking into a technological way for him to be on Cocktails in the War Room with me. And we are working on it right now. So trust me, we're in on it. We're looking into it to see if we can make it happen. Maybe he could be like one of those creepy robots at Stop and Shop with like the googly eyes that comes down the aisles and answers your questions. Like maybe I could make a Mike Shue droid. We could put him on a flat screen or something and he could sit here with me. I don't know, but we'll try and figure it out. But he obviously wanted me to tell you hello. He's been doing that podcast with Isaiah and Josh, and I just friggin' love those guys so much. So if I can figure out a way to get him in here or patch him in or like something, I'll figure it out. But Lisa misses Shue too. I know. We're working on it. So how are you guys feeling? How are you guys doing with this whole thing? Obviously, the stay-at-home order went into effect at noon today, so all non-essential businesses are now closed. We are very well aware that the Packies are considered essential, so there you go. And speaking of that, happy birthday to everybody whose birthday it is today that doesn't get a party, because my birthday is not till October, and usually I've said it 1,000 times that October is the best month of the year because it starts with my birthday and ends with Halloween. But it sucks, especially if you're a kid and you're looking forward to like this big birthday, or you finally turn 21 and you're like, yeah, let's go out and get drunk. Oh, we could get the coronavirus, so we're going to stay home and not drink. And so it would really suck to have your birthday be today. So happy birthday to everybody who's having a birthday today. At least we're having a party together. I know William says Josh is amazing for having his podcast be a lifeboat for radio. Trust me. We need you guys to talk to. Otherwise, we're just going to go. We're crazy people. And the only reason that we're not crazy for sitting in a padded room talking to ourselves is because you guys actually listen. I can't stay home, says Lori. She's cleaning houses and got to go out. Greg says it's surreal that the kids are home, working at the Red Cross. Buzz and I am not drinking at the moment, says Wendy. Well, wait, one of my uncles turns 102 today, says Jamie. Drunk, hysterical, unemployed, but happy to be here with you. Your comments are absolutely fantastic. And if you're just signing on to the video, you have to post your quarantine nickname, which is how you feel right now, and the last thing that you ate. I believe mine was Buzzed Pringle. So there you go. I would like to be referred to as Buzzed Pringle from now on. Trying to find toilet paper. Going to coffee filters pretty soon, somebody says. Can I give you guys a tip? There are a lot of 24-hour gas stations which are open. And if you look really close, because this is a trucker tip, and I'm sorry for all the truckers because I'm going to give out your secret. A lot of those gas stations sell single rolls of toilet paper, and they sell them for the truckers. And if you go into some of those 24-hour gas stations, you can find single rolls of toilet paper. I've checked and gone into a couple different gas stations, and they actually had toilet paper, so try that. I'm not saying go steal it from the bathrooms. I'm saying they actually sell it on the shelves. So there you go. George says, I've had one of the best commutes this week. Yeah, no kidding, of course, because the rest of us idiots are all at home and we can't go to work. Sangria, much needed. Happy burrito, says Monica. Buzzed lightly salted Lay's. That is a fantastic quarantine nickname. Buzz chocolate chips, Sleepy Shepherd's pie. Cassie, that's a really good one too. So keep your quarantine nicknames going, because going back, I can only read these comments so quick, but after the video gets posted, I always go back and reread the comments, and I die laughing. Now, last night, Patrick commented on the video and asked for a story about Loco Bazooka. And this isn't a very long story, but it's something that makes me laugh at the thought of Dimebag Darrell. Every time I think of him, there are a lot of Dimebag Darrell stories. Everybody that's ever met him has a story. Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters says that Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul are the guys that showed him what it was like to be a real rock star and to just be nice to everybody and to include everybody in the parties. And when that Damage Plan record came out, the guys were around a lot. We did the album listening party at the Rock Pile in Saugus. And then the guys hosted Harder Faster with Mike Shue, and were up all night getting drunk with Mike Shue on the air. And then they slept in their tour bus and came in with me during the day the next day. And you know what? I'm going to have to dig one of these things out. I gave them all little kid instruments, like a little battery powered like guitar and stuff. And they were jamming on like Wiggles instruments. And when they left, Dimebag signed the little guitar for me, and the rest of the guys in Damage Plan signed it. And then I think it was like, 6 weeks later or something, they played Loco Bazooka. And this was one of the years that Loco Bazooka was at the Fitchburg Airport. And, you know, everybody knows I grew up in Leominster, so all of my family and friends are all still in Leominster. And my mom had asked me if I could get her and some of her friends tickets and backstage passes to Loco Bazooka. And so obviously when your mom asks you to get backstage passes to something, you get your mom backstage passes. I did it one other time. I sent her and my godmother to see Monster Magnet and Stained at the Palladium, and Dave Windor from Monster Magnet grabbed their asses. We're not even getting into that story. So back to Loco Bazooka. So I got my mom and some of her friends backstage passes. And there came a moment backstage at the show where I was introducing Dimebag Darrell to my mom, which is not something that I ever in a million years thought that I would do. And so I was like, Dime, this is my mom, Lynn. Mom, this is Dimebag Darrell. And she said, would you like me to call you Dime, Darrell, or Mr. Bag? The laugh that came out of Dimebag Darrell after my mom asked if she should call him Mr. Bag is something that I will never ever forget as long as I live. And every once in a while I have to remind my mom that she got introduced to Dimebag Darrell and asked, do you want me to call you Dime, Darrell, or Mr. Bag? And his response after he stopped laughing out loud was, Mistress Carrie's mama, you can call me whatever you like. And then he grabbed her and he picked her up and he swung her around. And I so wish, because this was before we all had an iPhone in our pocket and could just grab these pictures. I so wish that I had that picture of Dimebag Darrell picking up my mom, her feet coming off the ground and him shaking her. But that was the same Loco Bazooka that later on, Mike Shue and I got asked to go out and sing Walk and share the microphone with Dimebag. And there are amazing pictures of that. And I believe if you search on YouTube that you can either find the Real Rock TV footage of that or someone's, video of that. But that is one of my favorite Dimebag Darrell stories because introducing him to my mom and then going up on stage and singing Walk with Mike Shue and Dimebag Darrell. Like, if you were at that Loco Bazooka, that's one of the highlights of my whole life, and you were there to see it because it was just awesome. Somebody just commented, I lost my phone at Loco Bazooka 02. It's probably still in the dirt somewhere. Who knows? Amber says, Mr. Bag. I know! And the fact that it was my mom makes it even better. So, do you want me to call you Dime, Darrell, or Mr. Bag? And I hope wherever Dime is, down there, up there, somewhere in between, hanging out with his brother at an amazing jam session, I hope that story still makes Dimebag laugh because introducing my mom to Dimebag Darrell was a pretty badass day, I'll tell you. So if you got suggestions for other shows or other stories or whatever, comment them. Thank you to Patrick that made the suggestion last night in the comments about hearing a story about Loco Bazooka, and there are tons of them. I mean, there's the backstage story with Kid Rock when he first broke, and he was there with Joe C, and I was interviewing him for Real Rock TV, and they taught me how to trip on Tussin, which is dumping a whole bottle of Robitussin in a 2-liter bottle of soda. And they didn't even have tour buses back then. They were like living out of an RV, sitting in lawn chairs backstage. And I definitely know that there's video of me the first time I interviewed all 9 members of the original lineup of Slipknot at Loco Bazooka. And talk about invasive. They were sticking their fingers in my nose and in my ears, and they were like petting my hair, and one of them goosed me. And I mean, there's not. And then later on that night is the story that Corey Taylor and I always tell about how he put his foot in my mouth and we drank all the Jaeger, which he said the smell of Jaeger is one of the things that keeps him from drinking to this day because of all of the Jaeger that he drank over the years, including all the Jaeger that we drank in Worcester after Loco Bazooka. So there you go. There's some Loco Bazooka stories for you. So thank you guys so much for joining me every night at 8:30. I apologize that it was a little bit delayed tonight. I don't know why Facebook Live didn't want to work tonight, but every night at 8:30, meet me right here. Keep your quarantine nicknames coming in the comments section. How you feel right now, and the last thing that you ate is your quarantine nickname. So Buzzed Pringle says, thank you for joining me here in the War Room. As a reminder, stop licking strange things. Wash your damn hands and stay indoors so that we can eventually all go back outside and go back to doing whatever it is that we like to do outside with our friends, with or without pants. And yes, I'm wearing pants tonight. And my old school retro Bon Jovi shirt from 1989 that I found in my closet today. So let me know what you've been finding in your closets too. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and making me feel less crazy and giving me an excuse to take a shower and put on pants every day. I love you guys. Enjoy your cocktail, and I will see you guys tomorrow night at 8:30. Hopefully, if I can get Facebook Live to work. Until then, thank you to everybody that's working, keeping us safe, all the medical professionals, the truck drivers, the people stocking the shelves, the military, everybody that's doing everything you can to help everybody else, and keep the donations coming for PPE, personal protective equipment. People are digging out rubber gloves and goggles, all the people that are sewing the surgical masks, everybody that's donating supplies to all of the health workers. And one more reminder, they still need blood donations big time because all the blood drives have been canceled. But the only way you can give blood is if you make an appointment at a donation center because they're not having any drives. So go to the Red Cross website, find a place, make an appointment, and if you're healthy, go and donate blood. And the other thing that you can do is the MSPCA and a lot of your local animal shelters are not open to the public right now, but if you make an appointment, you can go in on an appointment basis only, and maybe you could go and rescue a shelter pet, which would be a great addition to your family right now and would give you a reason to go outside every now and again for a walk, and would be just really cool to have with the kids. And for everybody that's asking about Wednesday, she's been playing in the snow and she's exhausted, and I'm going to take her out in a little while so she doesn't poop on the rug. Maybe that'll be her quarantine nickname. What has she eaten last? I don't know. It's probably something disgusting. Anyway, cheers, you guys. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Fernandez, for the delicious sangria. It will be rationed because I don't want it to all go to waste. Good night, everybody.